So today we'll see k nearest neighbors and naive Bayes, two algorithms in classification. So k nearest neighbor. First of all, we know that in supervised machine learning algorithms, in the data set, it is labeled. Okay, in the data set, we get labeled data means we are having independent variable and dependent variable, and we get the value of the dependent variable as well. So if you see here in the this picture, the blue triangle squares, okay, this is one category of data, one classification. Okay, another category is your red triangles. So like in the previous data set or previous class, when we saw the data set, you might have observed that the output is coming either 0 or 1, right? So here you can just consider that, okay, these red triangle and blue square is nothing but your 0 and 1 category. Two categories are there, that's it. Okay, now what happened? This is your given data. Okay, now if you need to predict for a new data, okay, all the independent variables are given, and now if question been asked that based on these independent variable, tell me which category this particular reading will fall, whether it will fall for red triangle or blue square. Okay, so there are two categories, which category it will fall. So what happened in k nearest neighbor means k is what you define a number that, okay, based on how many neighbors I am going to decide the category of my, or based on how many neighbors I am going to predict for a new reading, okay, which category it will fall. So suppose in first you take the value of k, you for first case you just take the value of k as 3. Okay, so your new reading is showing in here in green color, and then you, if you, I mean, in close proximity of green, what you will do, you will first 3 reading you will take. Okay, so what are those closest reading near to the, there are two triangles and one square. So what happened now, you have taken the closest 3 reading. Now out of these 3 reading, you will see what are the categories of these reading. Okay, so if you see here, 2 reading are falling into red triangle and 1 reading is falling into blue square. So now majority of the reading here is your red triangle. So now you will classify this new point, this green reading, as a red triangle. Okay. Any question on this? So that's a way. This is a very simple algorithm. You have to only thing you need to define the value of k in the starting. That's it. So in second case, suppose you take the value of k now equal to 5 instead of 3. Now what will happen now? So if you see now the dotted circle, okay, uh, this dotted circle, okay. So this green now 5 point you need to take near to this point, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are closest to this green point. For this green is nothing but your the point for which you need to predict it. You need to put this point into some category. So again, this time we are having two reading from red square triangle and 3 reading from blue square. So this time this new reading will go into blue square. So this is a simple algorithm. Any question on this algorithm?
Rishi, in the first case, we are seeing the distance, and
Hmm?
in second case, we are seeing the count.
No, no. In first case also we are seeing the count only. See, first case we took the value of k is equal to 3, and here the solid line represent, okay, under this circle, okay, only 3 readings are there except this green, because for green only you need to predict. So we have taken 3 reading, and majority of these 3 reading, 2 are red, 1 is blue. So this new reading will be categorized into red reading. Okay, it is not based on the what you said distance.
Distance, yeah,
It is
got it,
based
got it.
on the number of neighbors. So it is like if you consider that, okay, wherever I am living, I will consider 3 neighbors. Okay, now out of those 3 neighbors you need to decide whether you are going to play football or cricket. So out of those 3, if 2 plays cricket, 1 play football, you will say, okay, I will go with the majority is going to play cricket, so I'm going to play cricket only. So that is very simple. Only thing varies how many number of neighbors you are going to consider. Instead of 3, if you say, okay, I am going to consider 4, that is fine. 4 will maybe bit problem because it's a even number. Okay, so like that you can do that.
Okay, ji.
Hmm. Any question?
No questions, Rishi.
Okay, so now we'll try to uh, yeah, we'll see the coding part of it. So we'll take the same, I think in logistic also, we took this social network only. Okay. So first of all, we'll import the this common library, matplot and pandas, and okay, you can see my spider screen, right?
Yes, yes, Rishi.
So now what you do, you just execute these 3. Okay, it executed successfully. Now see the data set. Okay, data set also you can see. So here you can see that it is nothing but your social media data set where you are having detail about a person, whether they are going to purchase a particular car or not. So 0 says, okay, they are not going to buy, and 1 says they are going to buy. And there are some values like gender, age, and estimated salary. Okay, so this is our data set. We explained this data set in last class for logistic regression, and total we are having around 400 readings. Now we are going to take only sorry, we are going to take only 2 columns. One is age, other one is estimated salary. Okay, now age in Python index starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we are going to import second and third. Okay, now in pandas, when you write, if you write like this within first in this within parenthesis, first colon says that, okay, I am going to import all the rows, and after comma, if you again give the values in parenthesis, you need to specify exact number of columns, the number, the index of the column, okay, starting with 0. So here we are going to import second and third, that's why we are giving like this. Okay, dot values, and now you import this. We got x. Okay, so we got age and estimated salary. Okay, now in y we are going to import our dependent variable, one which you are going to predict. Okay, So we got y as well. Y will be a, if you see, it is a list. Okay. Now convert these into float. Otherwise, what will happen when you do scalar? It will give error. So that's why we convert these integer values into float. Okay. Now we'll split the data and standardize our data. So this standard scalar, this also we did in last class. Okay. Fit and transform. This I also explained that what is the difference between two. Also here, this is the the blog on this. What is the difference, technical difference between fit and transform. Now till this point we know very well what all things we do. Okay. Now this for this algorithm, the library name is k neighbors classifier. This is the library name, and we import it from this sklearn.neighbors. Okay. We run this line. So it is able to import the library. As we said in the algorithm, we need to decide one parameter that is mandatory, and that is your neighbor, number of neighbors. So here, if we are selecting number of neighbors equal to 5, so execute this as well. Okay, it runs successfully. Now build the model. Fit means you are putting your data into the algorithm. Okay, so it runs successfully. Now we will predict by pred. Okay, we predicted it as well. Now tell me what are those two kind of data which you need for confusion matrix? Anyone?
Predicted value and actual value.
Correct. We need predicted as well as actual. Then only you can compare and say, okay, what is the efficiency or accuracy of my model? So these two things are required. So in the test data, we already are having actual values, and on same test set, we predicted the values as well. Okay, so we are having both one. So we'll execute this for to compute the confusion matrix. Now we'll print CM. You can see here CM is showing here also. Okay. So if you see here, now 64 plus 29, it will come around 93. So in logistic regression, anyone remember how much correct reading we got? Anyone remember? Anyone remember how many correct reading we got in logistic regression?
64 is true positive.
How many?
64,
Huh?
which is in the true positive column.
Right. This is see, diagonal is your correct reading. It's true positive and true negative. Okay. So here you see out of 100 reading, correct reading we are predicting 93. But anyone remember in logistic regression how many correct reading we predicted? True positive plus true negative.
Rishi maybe 2, I guess.
2.
Uh,
Only 2.
It's no, it's like person will buy or not.
No, that is fine. I am saying how many correct prediction we did out of 100. See, this set is the prediction for 100 values. Okay. Out of 100 in this algorithm, 93 for 93 readings, we are predicting correct, means 93% accuracy. In last time, we saw logistic regression. So that's what I'm asking for. Out of 100, how many correct prediction we did? Anyone remember?
75 received.
60, 67.
Plus?
89.
Correct. 89 is the correct answer. 89 is the exact answer. Now you know, okay, this time we got 93, but last time was 89. Can someone tell me why we got higher accuracy here? Any one reason? In last time we saw coding. Yeah, I remember. I think. Any reason you can see why we are getting higher accuracy here? Okay, I will give one hint. What kind of model logistic regression is? Is it a linear or non-linear model?
Non-linear model.
Non-linear.
Logistic regression, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. See, logistic regression is a linear model. We'll see again. We'll run the code and I will show you the graph also again once more. Okay. And this k nearest neighbor is a non-linear model. Okay, we'll see that now. So the graph, the code is same for both. Okay, we just need to put our classifier here, and the value is I mean, we are using the same thing, so there's no need to reassign this. So we'll just run this code. Okay, till here for on our training set. Okay, this is for training set because if you see here, we are assigning x plot and z plot to your x train and y train data. Okay, so we'll run this. It is still running. See this. Can you see the graph?
Yes, Rishi.
So now you can see here, see the boundary of this blue and red. Okay, this is called as decision boundary. So beyond that boundary, okay, let me take the highlighter. Okay, this red one is 1. If you see here, legend is showing that, okay, red area is 1 means person is going to buy the car, and 0 is not going to buy the car. Okay, so in this way, what it is showing that first of all, the x-axis is age and y-axis is salary. Okay, now there's one difference with the graph between your classification and regression. In regression, in 2D, we take only one independent variable and one dependent variable in case of regression. Okay, but here in case of classification, two readings x and y axis we are taking independent variable, and in the graph we just categorize the reading, so independent variable is showing like that. Okay, so all the reading, the blue area, okay, each and every pixel of blue area denotes that, okay, if you come here, okay, all these salary and age is standardized. Okay, so each pixel say where I am putting my cursor, this particular pixel, that person is not going to buy the SUV. Now for this pixel, whatever value of the age and salary, based on those two value, this pixel says that person is not going to buy the SUV. Now, if I put my cursor here on the right hand side, any pixel in this whole red area, okay, any particular, for that pixel, there will be some value of age, there will be some value of salary. So for those two particular values, salary and age, this person is going to buy the SUV. That is first your predicted region I'm saying, okay, blue region and red region. Now coming on the dots, the dot says blue dot, that pixel, the blue dot pixel, okay, that person is not going to buy the SUV. So if blue pixel is coming here, okay, this says that, okay, actually in actual, okay, this person is not going to buy the SUV, but this is falling in the region where you have predicted that that person is going to buy the SUV. So this is a wrong prediction. Okay, now you can see this decision boundary is not linear. It is not a straight line. Okay, this is a sub-irregular shape. That is why I said it is non-linear. We'll see again once more logistic regression, how straight decision boundary comes. Okay, any question on this? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, Rishi.
Yes, Rishiji.
Okay. So we'll run this for once test data, okay? This is for test data. Line number 80, you can see I am assigning X test and Y test, okay? Y test is nothing but your actual result, okay? And somewhere here, I have put the predicted result also. Where is that? Where is that? Predicted. Yeah, this is predicted, okay? So now if I execute this, so in test, we know we have taken 100 readings, right? Out of 100, how many were wrong? Anyone? How many were correct? How many were wrong? Out of 100 reading?
7 were
Rishi,
wrong.
93 were correct.
Seven
na?
was wrong. Yeah, 93
93
correct,
were
7
correct.
is wrong.
Correct, very much. Thank you. So here you see those 7 reading. 3 are wrong. See this. You have predicted this person is not going to buy the SUV, but actually this person is buying the SUV. So this is 1, 2, 3. So these are what? These are false positive or false negative.
Yes, Rishi.
No, I'm asking.
False. So this data set is negative data set, or if
What
a
is this?
person is
What is this blue area?
that is the person won't buy the car.
Who is
Correct.
the person will not buy?
Okay.
100 is person will buy.
So this is a negative area, right? The person is not going to buy that. Okay. So this is a negative region. Okay. So for negative region, this reading is wrong. So what is this? False positive or false negative?
Positive. False positive.
False negative.
Why positive? Why false
False
positive?
negative.
False negative. Because this region is
Because
saying, tell me.
because reason is like he won't buy, but in reality he is going to buy.
Yes. So prediction, negative prediction is wrong, right? We said no. The prediction is no. So, but it is false. So it is false negative. So we are having 3 false negative. Okay. And 7 readings were wrong. So 3 are here and another 4. This blue dot. These are nothing but your false positive. You said these people are going to buy the car, but actually they are not going to buy the car. These are blue. Okay. Clear to everyone?
Yes, yes.
So K nearest neighbor is linear or a non-linear algorithm?
It's non-linear.
Linear.
Non-linear.
Linear. Who said linear? Yes, Ji, please tell me why you think it is a linear. It's good to clarify the confusion. Why you think it is a linear?
I think he said non-linear, but by muting, unmuting, it
Okay.
is,
That is good. Okay. Okay. So here one more thing. You see this blue region. Some part of blue region is coming in between red also. See this. Okay. And some part of red region is coming in between blue also, totally under blue. So this also happens. Okay. Now what I will do, I will show you the logistic regression. Okay. First we reset our kernel. By resetting, what you do, you flush all the memory with the variables and whatever you created. Okay. Now again I will run this. So we are taking just 2 readings. Okay. Till this point I'm executing this. Okay, I took some other reading. Okay, not tennis. Social. Okay. You run this. Okay, here you see 89 readings are correct. Okay, now I will generate the test graph. See this. This is logistic regression. Here the decision boundary is straight. Okay. So even, I mean, you can understand if decision boundary is straight, means linear, and your data is not linear, your prediction will drop. Accuracy of the prediction will drop. Okay. You can count the number of dots. These are 11, which are wrong. Okay, so logistic regression is your linear. Now one thing more here. Okay, what we saw here, that we took 2 readings and we got accuracy of how much percent? 89%. Now I will include one more column. Okay, let's execute this first. And what is this? Okay, I need to first convert it. Yeah. I need to first convert it. I think last time I put that code also. Yeah. Okay. See now the difference. Now ever accurate, how many correct readings are there? 65 plus 25, 90.
90.
Right? So the moment we added one more feature, our prediction accuracy increased by 1%. Right? So it means the gender of the person is contributing somewhere in the prediction. Some positive prediction it is doing. It is helping in the prediction. So you can see the difference. Okay. But now we are having 3 independent variables. So I can't draw a 2D graph. I may need to go into the 3D model. Okay. So you can give a try for a 3D. Up to 3 independent variable you can take in classification. The way I draw the 3D model in your regression problem, right? You can try this also at home. Okay. Now, will any question on this?
So Rishiji, in real time also, if more than 2 variables are there, independent variables are there, if people like we need to try with 3, 4, 3 parameters first and 4 parameters, 4 variables first,
No, no,
and
no.
we need to.
No. This is just for graph purpose, just to show you the data and boundary, nothing else.
Yeah. Like here, after adding the male or female, we got percentage got increased, right? So.
Correct.
So in real time also we use as many independent variables as possible, or
Yes, very much. Okay, one thing, Ji, it's our time is going to be over. Please join
okay,
again. I will explain. Okay.
okay.